Today, I think in the first session, we already discussed about the first chapter. Already the chapter was done, even though we just recollected the chapter again in the first session. Now in this session 2, we are going to discuss about the chemical equations. That is our second chapter. So, you already known about what is a chemical equation chapter, what we already learned here. But let me briefly introduce you once again to recollect the chapter and make you to understand. I hope you already done with the first chapter and you already learned everything. So here I think you already done with your first chapter and you got revising the chapter once again. So let me go with the second chapter, important and unimportant, where we need to learn everything and what is most important in this chapter and where are we mostly face a problem. Okay, so let me come to you know about what is meant by a chemical equation. So you already know about what is meant by a chemical and what can we do with these equations here. Okay, I think I told you already, but don't worry, let me revise you once again. To understand our chemical, every day-to-day life in our day, we are dependent upon chemicals. See, now the corona effect, we already known about that, but due to that effect, we are using a sanitizer, it's an alcoholic sanitizer, it's nothing but a chemical. In the same way, we use the chemicals to be done in our day-to-day life. So, how these equations are to be derived into one? As see, we have an activity 1. We already discussed activity 1. What is activity 1? Shows us when calcium oxide, what we call calcium oxide, is reacted with H2O. What will be your reaction? That is nothing but an equation. It's a chemical. Calcium oxide is a chemical. When the calcium oxide is added with some water, what will be the equation that is going to come? That is, we want to just do it. As you already know, H2 can be written as H plus OH minus, calcium Ca plus O minus. When we added this chemical, it will be forming like this. But does it really form so that? See that it will be forming like CaOH, obviously right, plus it will be forming OH. Is that really okay for OH? Can we make it as an OH formation? Every equation must and should have a positive and must and should have a negative. And here OH is a negative, then where is the positive formation here? For that, we need to balance the equation. In the balancing equation, in the sense of if you take 2 times of hydrogen here, so I can write here as hydrogen as H2O. Now let imagine, here hydrogens are 2, but the calcium is 1, so I need to add one more calcium here. So what happened? 2 is a calcium and hydrogen have 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 2s are 4. And oxygens are 2, but here it is 2 and it is 2, so O is increased. So just we need to make a balance of equation that we will be learning in this chapter. Okay, don't worry about the balancing equations, I'll tell you later, we have a next topic to learn about that one. But here, then what will be the result when calcium oxide is reacted with water? What we will be getting here, simple, here we will be adding with a heat. Heat will be liberated out in this. So when calcium oxide is added with the water, there is a liberation of heat takes place. So the point. That is your activity number 1. When we come to your activity number 2, what is the activity number 2? Simple. Barium chloride, BaCl2. Barium chloride is reacted with any other chemical over there. Any other chemical like NH3 or N2CO3 or Na2CO3, any chemical, then the precipitate is going to change the color here. The color will not be the same at any one particular point. The color is going to be parametrically changed. It will not be fixed at one position, or maybe there will be no any other curricular equations to be formed. Let's come to your activity number 3. You'll be getting clarity here. This activity we were done literally with an equation also. What is this activity? Simple. When an acid, in the sense of hydrochloric acid, HCl, simply we call it as diluted. Diluted hydrochloric acid is added with a zinc crystals. When you take a zinc crystal, simple. You have taken a jar which we using over here, and in this jar you are taken hydrochloric acid and you are added some pieces of zinc crystals here. So what these zinc crystals will be happens, then there will be a releasing of a foam out of this. When you keep a matchstick nearer to this one, then matchstick will give a sound called pop. pop sound will be generated here. So what will be that one? HCl plus Zn. When we add a reaction here, that will be coming like as ZnCl2 plus H2. It's nothing but to become here, we need to add 2 times of hydrochloric. As I told you, we need to make a balancing of equation. See, this is not a balanced equation, I already told you. Right? This is not at all a balanced equation, but the equation will be forming like this. So we need to understand the equation. Depending upon the equation, we will be turning it out to a balancing form. So then that will be a formation to be taking place here. So how to make a balancing equations? Let me imagine you the rules here. What will be the rules for a balancing equation? The first point what we need to look out here is 1. We have product side and reactant side. So product and reactant side both should be same. Same will be coming. So we can call it as reactant and a product also. You can take it at any point here, reactant or a product. Okay. You can consider them as LHS and RHS. So both are to be taken as separately, LHS values and RHS values in the reactant side and the product side. So LHS, RHS, dividing those each element separately. You need to separate the element each by that. Let's take now, this is the equation now we have. Let me that this is not a balanced equation. Ca is 1, OE is 1 here. Hydrogen is 4, OE is 2. When we take the point here. Again come to RHS side. What is that here? Ca is 2, O is 2. H is 2. Again hydrogen is 2 here. O is 1. Now let's imagine here what happens here. When you take calcium is here 2. Here the calcium is taken as 2. Here the calcium is taken as 1. So we have to balance it. It's very cost. So we are taking as 2 is here. Simple that one. So when you taken 2 here, it was taken as 2. And oxygen is taken as 2 again here, and hydrogen is 4, oxygen is 2 and oxygen is 2. Here we will be getting a confusion like oxygen is 2 and oxygen is 2, it totally becomes as 4 here. When here you take it is 2 and this is 1, it becomes as 3. So is that balanced in one now? Not at all balanced. So again we need to use the same reciprocity to make this to be balanced in a systematical order. So you need to add some values and you need to add some values here, making them to be balanced. See, if I take here 2 for that one, because hydrogen is not there, so 2 2s are 4 and 2, this comes as 6 here. So if I keep here hydrogen as 3, then it becomes as a 6 value. Then hydrogen will be the 3 and it will be coming as 5. So like that the value will be improved and the valency will be taking place. So how much the number should be there? According to that, you need to make a balancing of this productivity. So that this type of balancing equations will make us to understand what will be there. So how we use the balancing equations? See, already we just learnt about Dalton's atomic theory. In the 9th class, we already come with that Dalton's atomic theory. What he has told that one. Any atomical masses should be taken as according to their ratio. For example, if you are taking in a ratio of 1:2, even though that should come like as a 1:2 ratio itself, there should not be any changes to be occurred over the point. Everything to be considered as one part and another to be considered as the second part to be equalization and make them to be understand in a easiest type of methodology of analysis. So that we taking as an LHS side and then will be taken as an RHS side and making the two to be forming like as a heat generated bodies and all the equations to be forming. This will be there for this. So here we have some rules that which we need to follow. When you are doing that with the heat, so you need to add a symbol as delta here. You need to add a symbol called delta. When after reaction is out, when the reaction is completed in the product side, you are getting some product out of that one. Then if a gas is releasing out of that one, then you need to deliver it as a gas symbol. So these are the symbols that which shows that what is released out, whether heat is released or whether the gas is released or absorption reactivity is released, what will be the heat to heat reaction, what will be the gas to gas reaction, when you're taking the gas to gas reaction, what kind of a gas is going to form, when you're taking heat to heat reaction, what kind of a reaction is going to be formed, everything to be considered as here. So when you take it out, heat will be taken as this one and gas to be taken as this. Very simple as that. Now we gonna know about one more topic we already learned here. I'm just taking a box of this chapter of a box. So let's see here what is that. It's simply nothing but molar concept. So you guys are aware of that one molar concept. Simple. 1 pen cast 20 rupees. Then what is the cost of 10 pence? You already learned about it. Cross multiplication, we do it. In the same way here, this is a mathematics. Then how the mathematics is linked with the physics? What kind of a reaction is going to get here? When you take a 1 pen, you will be getting a 20 rupees cost. Then when you go for the 10 pens, then what will be the cost? That's a question which comes in everyone's mind, and we already learned that in your 5th chapter. So 5th class only. Okay? The same priority we will be using here. You will be taking an equation like this. And this equation, for example, here you have taken a zinc and you just liberated a hydrogen. Okay, for example, you need to take, you got 30 grams of zinc here and you just liberated 2 grams of hydrogen. Then the question comes to you like, what I need to get if I want to take 10 grams of hydrogen, then what will be the zinc value? So what you do, you need to make a cross multiplication. It's nothing but simple. But here we have 2 rules we need to understand. What are the 2 rules that we need to understand here? Let's take the first point here, Avogadro number. 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. So Avogadro number. Every number which we are using a mole concept, for the mole concept, we need to multiply the mole concept with the Avogadro number. Without multiplying with Avogadro number, you are not going to get the exact mole value. So, if they ask that, for example, hydrogen is done with an Avogadro number, so you must and should multiply hydrogen with the Avogadro number. Like us, we have standard temperature pressure. It is nothing but 22.4 liters. Pressure can be considered in liters itself. Okay, so 22.4 liters is nothing but standard temperature pressure where you get a pressure value of this one. So, as we getting gases are released out that one, so gases are taking some reciprocity about how much the link of gases are to be released by the standard temperature pressure. So due to that standard temperature pressure, we need to multiply the gas with the STP value. What is our STP value? Is 22.4. So you will multiply the value with that equation which you are gonna get out of. So this is the student, this is totally about the second chapter, that which we already discussed about how the equations are to be forming, that we are making. So these all are to be knowing you like about how these will be there and how these will be acting. I know we didn't went very clearly as how we learned about the chapter, because the completion of this chemical equation we will take minimum 4 days of time. But due to the revision period, I am just revising you all the topics what we already learned in the second chapter. This was already learned and you guys are already revised about all these topics very clearly. I hope you know that one, right? So this will help you to understand, to revise the topics, and please open your running notes which I already told you. Then running notes will be there each and every parameter, and we will discuss n number of balancing equations. See, this equation or this equation is not balanced, but even though we practice this balancing equation, you already know about that one. So due to insufficient of word, I didn't open clearly on that. But even you all know, we already practiced n number of balancing equations, how that will be formed. And even I told you n number of shortcuts also, how it will be come to be existence here. Okay, so you will be getting a clarity when you just open your records and you check it out. So thank you students. So tomorrow we are just going to discuss about the session 3, about the third chapter. So it will take minimum 5 to 6 periods for us. So the sessions will be go still up to 8 or 9 sessions. Okay, so please be understand now. First revise the first and second chapter once again. If any doubts, post me in the group. Thank you.